You need to hear this if you're a boxing fan. The story of Jack Johnson is not just about boxing. It's about resilience, defiance, and the fight against systemic racism. His life was a testament to the power of the human spirit to overcome adversity, and his legacy continues to inspire generations. Jack Johnson wasn't just a champion in the ring, but also in life. Born in 1878 in Galveston, Texas, Johnson grew up in a time when racial segregation was the norm and opportunities for African Americans were severely limited. Despite these challenges, he rose to become one of the most formidable boxers of his time. Here's why. Jack Johnson, the first African American world heavyweight boxing champion, was a symbol of triumph and resilience. He broke the color barrier in boxing, a sport that was, and still is, a microcosm of society's broader racial issues. His victory was not just a personal achievement, but a significant milestone for African Americans in the fight for equality. But his battles extended far beyond the ring. Johnson's life was a constant struggle against the racial prejudices of his time. He faced hostility not just from the public, but also from the legal system, which sought to bring him down at every turn. In 1912, Johnson was arrested under the Mann Act, a law aimed at combating human trafficking. The Mann Act, also known as the White Slave Traffic Act, was ostensibly designed to prevent the transportation of women for immoral purposes. However, its vague wording made it a convenient tool for racial discrimination. Its vague wording on immoral purposes became a tool for racial discrimination. The law was often used to target African American men who were in relationships with white women, reflecting the deep-seated racial anxieties of the time. Johnson's case was a prime example of how the law could be twisted to serve the interests of a prejudiced society. Johnson's crime: transporting a white woman, Lucille Cameron, across state lines. Lucille Cameron was not just any woman, she was Johnson's lover, and their relationship was a direct challenge to the racial norms of the era. The mere fact that Johnson, a black man, was involved with a white woman was enough to provoke outrage and legal action. She later became his wife, and the charges were dropped. However, the damage was done. The case had already attracted significant media attention, and Johnson's reputation was tarnished. The public and the authorities were not ready to let him off the hook so easily, yet the storm was far from over. Johnson's troubles with the law were far from resolved, and he continued to face relentless persecution. The authorities were determined to find another way to bring him down. Johnson was arrested again, involving another white woman, Belle Schreiber, an ex-girlfriend. This time, the charges stuck. Belle Schreiber was a former prostitute, and her relationship with Johnson provided the authorities with the pretext they needed to prosecute him under the Mann Act once more. This time, he wasn't so lucky. The trial was a media spectacle, and Johnson was portrayed as a dangerous figure who threatened the moral fabric of society. The racial undertones of the case were unmistakable, and the outcome was almost a foregone conclusion. In a racially charged trial, Johnson was convicted and sentenced to a year in prison. The trial was a sham, a clear example of how the legal system could be manipulated to serve the interests of a racist society. Johnson's conviction was not just a personal blow, but a setback for the broader struggle for racial equality. But the champion wasn't ready to be knocked out. Johnson's spirit remained unbroken, and he continued to fight both in and out of the ring. His determination and resilience were a source of inspiration for many, and he refused to let his enemies have the final word. He fled the country, living in exile for several years. Johnson's decision to leave the United States was a testament to his unwillingness to accept injustice. He continued to box in Europe and South America, maintaining his status as a world-class athlete despite the challenges he faced. Johnson's conviction was seen as a blatant act of racial injustice, a punishment for defying societal norms. His case became a rallying point for those fighting against racial discrimination, highlighting the deep-seated prejudices that permeated American society. Fast forward to 2018, President Donald Trump posthumously pardoned Jack Johnson, recognizing the racial bias of his case. The pardon was a long overdue acknowledgement of the injustice Johnson had suffered, and it served as a reminder of the ongoing struggle for racial equality. The Mann Act's controversial history is a reminder of how laws can be twisted to serve prejudice. The law, which was intended to protect women, was instead used as a weapon against African American men, reflecting the broader societal biases of the time. Jack Johnson's legacy, however, stands as a testament to his indomitable spirit and fight for justice. His life story is a powerful reminder of the importance of standing up against injustice, no matter the odds. Johnson's courage and resilience continue to inspire those who fight for equality and justice today. So next time you think of champions, remember Jack Johnson, not just a boxer, but a fighter against racial injustice. His legacy is a testament to the power of the human spirit to overcome adversity and fight for what is right. Jack Johnson's story is not just a chapter in the history of boxing, it's a chapter in the history of the fight for civil rights. His life and legacy remind us that the struggle for justice is ongoing and that we must continue to fight against the forces of prejudice and discrimination.